Five Nights at Freddy's is loved by many, resulting in many fan games. Some fans speculate over 7,000 games have been created, but many were removed for being incomplete. Nonetheless, some of these games were quite nostalgic and very well created. Everyone used to play these games and talk about them.
Another Five Nights at Freddy's fan-made game.
But over time, many forgot about them. Today, we will take a trip down memory lane and cover 3 fan games you may have forgotten about. Starting off with Five Nights at Wario. This is the very first version. You may have remembered this game in detail, but if not, here is the quick rundown. The game launched on January 6, 2015. Sets you as the night guard at an abandoned fast food factory once run by Wario. The place is shrouded in rumors of a curse after Wario and others vanished. From the first night, you're in a game of survival against Wario, who starts his nightly prowling from the entrance through various rooms, aiming for your office. Your main task is to keep an eye on the security feeds and manage the factory's safeguards to fend off Wario and other animatronic characters that roam in the dark. Pretty much the same basis as the original Five Nights at Freddy's, just with different characters. You will see the office is a pretty close resemblance of the Five Nights at Freddy's office. The first night was a breeze. Nothing much happened. As days went by, we kept getting introduced to new people over the phone. On the third night, the guy on the phone mentioned finding a machine turned off that should have been running. Come the fourth night, he's talking about machines acting up, turning on and off by themselves. And get this, someone found a couple of teeth in the basement. Oh. And some folks got caught trying to break in to steal Wario's secret recipe. The fifth night, the phone call got really weird, focusing on why Wario might be possessed. Then the call gets cut off by someone or something saying, "We shall avenge whoever did this to me." And that was pretty much the end of it. After that, they shut the whole factory down. The game's not too tough to finish. The characters like Wario, Waluigi, Luigi, Mario, and Peach could use some work though. They kind of come off as bad knockoffs of the original Nintendo characters. But this was back in 2015, back when the iPhone 6S was released. Feel old yet? But this was one of the first Five Nights at Freddy's fan games to be released. So in that sense, it's not that bad, but in today's day and age, it hasn't aged well at all. The developer of this game, Andy, is still quite active and has made even more, 7 total Five Nights at Wario games. But overall, as mentioned previously, the game is overall pretty good for the time it was created in. If you played this next game in its height, most likely you didn't forget how good this game truly was. But in case you didn't play, let me explain. Five Nights at the Chum Bucket is a sequel to Five Nights at the Krusty Krab. The Krusty Krab has been destroyed in a fire started by some out-of-control animatronics. In the aftermath, someone survives but gets caught by the person behind the robots in the game. You're stuck for 5 nights, fighting off these animatronics that just won't quit. It's all about making it through the night. The game hit the scene on April 19th, 2015 by Sinkaroonie, and they used the Unreal Engine.
This is complicated. What happened?
To make everything feel pretty realistic for its time. But as for the setting of the game, it is a grim building made of concrete and steel, which really cranks up the spooky vibes. It's like you can feel the chill of the metal and the hardness of the walls, reminding you that there's no easy way out. You may have been introduced to this game originally from Markiplier, who really made the game popular from his viral YouTube videos. On the opening night, your shift at the Krusty Krab is interrupted by an urgent call about a fire sighting. Before you can grasp the situation, a sinister voice from the Chum Bucket interjects, vowing that you won't survive the night. The hours slip away quickly. Much like the early stages of a Five Nights at Freddy's game, the following night introduces you to a new surveillance challenge, demanding your attention. On the third night, the concerned caller from the first night reaches out once more, needing additional time to locate you, but the call is abruptly ended. The fourth night brings a chilling twist as the supervisor speaks of hauntings, and you encounter the ghostly forms of SpongeBob, Squidward, and Patrick. The fifth night delivers a ray of hope when your mysterious ally locates you at the Chum Bucket and announces his soon arrival, only to be interrupted once again. The saga reaches its high point on the sixth night, the true finale where your would-be savior is searching for an entrance. In a harrowing conclusion, as he peers through the glass in search of you, you face him, and a terrifying jump scare signals the end of the game. Overall, for this game, the actual character and game development are pretty impressive, especially for a 3D game such as this one. Even the level of difficulty in the game is fairly moderate compared to the first game we discussed. The game creator, Sinkaruni, created the Five Nights at the Krusty Krab and Chum Bucket, but didn't release any new versions of the two. But he did create Five Nights at the Krusty Krab 3 more recently. The last game we will discuss is Those Nights at Rachel's. Those Nights at Rachel's hit the scene in December 2015 thanks to a developer known as Nixon. It's a fan creation that nods to the Five Nights at Freddy's series. Players have to make it through nights filled with animatronics in a setting that's designed to be quite unsettling. There's also a sequel that explores system glitches and the resulting hallucinations. The game stands out in the fan community for its unique approach to horror and survival. It's not just about the scares. The game includes new characters, a fresh setting, and some custom mechanics that set it apart. Plus, there's voice acting and a bit of free roam to mix things up. Nixon also released a hard edition of the game, which ramps up the difficulty and adds even creepier animatronics and an extra character. A few years later, a remake was announced, promising new features, a better story, and redesigned characters. In this game, there are 6 character, 4 main, and 2 off to the side. The 4 consist of Rachel the rabbit, Doug the dog, Pete the pig, and Bane the bull. And they all start out on stage. For the 2 other characters, Ray the raccoon starts in his raccoon hut, which him being off to himself is much like Foxy in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and the other character is the Thing. As for the gameplay, Night 1 is rather simple. It is a beginner-friendly level where players learn the game's mechanics. The tutorial phone call plays throughout the night, but doesn't finish. The Thing and Ray are mostly inactive, so no need to close the backroom curtains, but keep an eye on Ray after 2 AM on Night 2. The Thing, Pete and Bane are introduced and are somewhat active. Keep an eye on Ray. He's not too aggressive yet, but ignoring him can lead to trouble. Rachel and Doug get moving quicker and might show up at the office's left door, close the door, or hide under the desk when they do. Also, remember to close the Thing's curtains regularly to keep it contained, focus on the stage animatronics, and start developing a routine between the office and the back room. On Night 3, you'll notice Ray moving around in his hut, but he poses no danger. Pete might approach your office once or twice during the night. Bane tends to be slower and usually sticks to the East Hall or the parts and service area. The Thing has become more active, so you should check on it slightly less than twice every hour. Night 4 ramps up the challenge with Bane joining Pete in full activity. Players need to be sharp in spotting stage animatronics by the doors. Ray and the Thing also up their games. With the Thing needing checks 2 to 3 times an hour, Night 5 in Those Nights at Rachel's is intense, with all animatronics except Rachel and Ray on high alert. You'll need to check on the Thing 3 to 4 times hourly. Completing this night rewards you with a promotion and a paycheck, accompanied by a music box tune. A cutscene follows, set in what seems like the night guard's bedroom, ending with the Thing's jump scare. The guard then finds himself back in the office, and you're returned to the main menu with extras now available for both normal and hard modes. As for the creator, Nixon, he is still very much active with the joy of creation, story mode. Overall, with the graphics and truly spectacular game development, some argue this game is one of the best Five Nights at Freddy's fan games to exist. Overall, I hope this video spiked your interest and you gained more insight to the older fan games. And comment your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's fan game down below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe.